So about, man.
It's longer and longer, doesn't
It
it?
is. Gosh, like 52 years ago. That's hard to even say. Hey, easy boy. He goes, you couldn't hear him, he went, whew.
Not true.
Easy there.
Not true.
I played Little League, played baseball. And so did my neighbor, my next door neighbor, my best friend for years and years and years, Mark Thomas. He played on a separate team. And Mark was a pitcher on his team, and I was left field on mine. And from time to time, and I was okay. I was like I know we're allowed to use sevens, but I was a 7, right? I was 1 to 10. I was a solid 7. And sometimes when I played against Mark's team, it was totally cool. We never thought like literally a thing about it. We were really good friends. And some days he was a better batter or better pitcher than I was a batter, and he'd strike me out. And some days I was a better batter than he was a pitcher, and I'd get on base in school, right? So my father, who died about 20 years ago, awesome man, but he worked all the time. This is why I'm so passionate about working a 32-hour work week and being home. It affected me, and truth be known, still to this day, right? It still affects me. And so Dad never came to a game, like never, right? And again, I don't say that in a mean-spirited way. It's not that he didn't want to, I guess. He was literally at work. So he literally worked 7 days a week, 12 hours a day. That was his shift. He worked 7A to 7P, 7 days a week. So for years. So one Saturday morning, my brother Tommy, I'm getting ready for my game, and Mark's going to be on the opposing team. I knew that, and that was actually kind of fun. We could, goof around a little bit before the game. And normally we'd ride our bicycles over to the baseball field, but Tommy came up to me and said, Dad's got the day off, he's coming to the game. All right, how cool is that? So, pardon me, Dad came to the game, I got in his car and drove us down to the ball field. And on that day, Mark was a better pitcher than I was a batter for the 2 times that I came up. He struck me out. I honestly didn't think anything about it, right? So, got in the car, came home, Dad got out, me and Tommy stayed in the front yard and just kind of, tussled around a little bit. And Tommy would never ever say anything to hurt my feelings, because we truly loved each other, like best buddies. And but Tommy said something that he repeated that he heard from Dad, and it was, Dad didn't know you couldn't hit a ball, right? And while that seems like a very simple statement as I say that today, you would think somebody put a spear right through my heart. I was absolutely, totally, completely devastated, just devastated. For the next 40-some years, I never touched a baseball. I never touched a baseball bat, ever, not once. What do you do when you're in grade school, middle school, and high school? What do you do during baseball season when you're in school, during PE time? Play baseball. Not me. I became very clever at getting in just enough trouble that I get sent to the principal's office, for that period. Once we started doing like in middle school and high school, once we started, shifting classes from teacher to teacher, when the schedule come out at the beginning of the year, I always made sure that PE, and I'd change it, and I came very, very creative at making this happen. I'd always change it so it was either first period or last period. And if it's first period, I'd miss the bus a lot. And if it's last period, I get a note from Mom and I have to leave school. And I learned how to limp, I learned how to, whatever I had to do, I literally didn't touch a baseball or a baseball bat for years and years and years. And including, I had 2 girls and a son when they were young, still haven't touched one. Well, I had never shared that story with anybody, and honestly didn't think that much about it as the years went by, and until I told a buddy of mine, Tim. And I told Tim my story. I don't even remember why. And he said, well, Carl, I don't think there's ever any accidents or coincidences. I think this is by design. The church softball league is starting in 2 weeks, and I'm one of the managers of the team. I think it's time to go play some baseball. What do you think? Well, I said, no, man, I'm all right. I'm totally cool about this, buddy. He says, and I know you are. He said, but do you trust me? Oh, this is the Uncle Dave thing, you know? Yeah, I trust you. He said, I love you, buddy. Let's go play some ball. All right. He said, well, here's how it works. The next two, how did that work? The next 2 Wednesdays, we're having practice, and the following Saturday is our first game. So you need to come to practice. I said, okay. Well, Wednesday came, and I didn't go. No intention on it, by the way. And I was looking for his call, and I was thinking of excuses, but he didn't call. All right, I think I got out of this. Next Wednesday came, practice, I didn't go, no call. Dodge this bullet. Friday night came, calls me up, I'd forgotten about it. Calls me up, hey Tim, hey Carl, first game's tomorrow, you going? Yeah, I lied. He said, well, I know you are, because I'm going to come pick you up. And I said, Tim, you don't have to do that. He said, I know I don't, buddy, but I love you. You don't have to love me that much. I said, okay. So I put that ice cold steel phone that turned to an ice block in my hand when he said that. I put it down, and I literally broke out in a panic attack. And that night, I literally didn't sleep. And I know it might kind of sound silly to you, but this was not silly to me. This was a big freaking deal. This was my worst literal nightmare. And, which by the way, during that night, I did some research and I found where's the last place the ball goes on a baseball field, which come to find out, yeah, right field. I thought, all right, I'll play right field. So, and I also found out that there's a mercy rule in church softball that if the other team gets ahead 10 points, they call the game. Okay, I have hope here, right? If they come up to bat first and score 10, we're good. So Tim shows up Saturday morning. 100% of this is true. As we're driving to the baseball field, I'm literally praying, and I'm a man of prayer. I'm literally praying, dear God, please let us get in a car accident. Not so that we get hurt, but that the car's messed up enough that we can't make it to this game. And he answered that prayer with a no. I'm not gonna let that happen. So we pulled up to the baseball field, and I'm an absolute wreck. I'm just a mess. And so, didn't have a glove, of course. So we get out of the car. Tim said, are you right or left-handed? So I'm right-handed. So he had a glove, had one of each, old Tim. And he tossed it to me, and I'm touching a piece of leather that I haven't touched in decades, many decades, almost half a century. And what position do you play, Carl? Right field. So I go out in right field, and it gets a little fuzzy at this point because I was in such a panic that my memory kind of blacked part of this out. And I don't remember really what happened, but I know that no ball was hit to me. And I'll never, ever, ever forget sitting out there praying about this mercy rule, that God would bless these men like Babe Ruth. That was my prayer. And that he would joyously give them 10 out of the park home runs that they could go home and tell their kids and family about, right? Not selfish of me, I'm trying to give it to them, right? But that didn't happen, because I'll never forget the sound of out 3. This comes crystal clear. The batter hit the ball, popped up, short field called it, and I heard the smack of the glove, and I thought, oh my God, my God, my God. So I go up, a couple people back first, and it's my turn. Carl, you're up. And I'm sitting there, I'm an absolute disaster. And I'm trying to calm down. I'm seeing like little stars a little bit. I'm a little dizzy. I'm just a mess. I mean, I just cannot describe it. And as I grab this bat, which I haven't touched in 40 some years, and I'm walking to the plate, I'm trying to calm myself down. And I got this vision of my mind. Oh God. I got this vision in my mind of Babe Ruth. And there's this famous photograph of Babe Ruth. Yeah. He's walking up to the plate. What does Babe Ruth do? He points to left field like he's going to hit the ball over left field. So I'm walking to the plate. I'm trying to gain my composure. I see that picture, and I felt my arm going up. And as I'm walking up, I'm going, you idiot. Put your arm down. This is going to be terrible. Well, I'm a pretty good sized boy, and they never seen me play it before. So what's the pitcher do? He sees this guy pointing to left field. The pitcher turns around to everybody, back, back. And I'm sitting there going, So I'm standing at their plate, and I made a decision. I said, Carl, whatever he throws, and you have to remember now, this is church softball. They lob it underhand, you know, and has to have so much of an arch. It just barely makes it over the plate. And in a weird kind of way, the other team hopes you hit it, right? I mean, it's just this very no competition church softball league. And I told myself, when he lobs this watermelon, right, big old softball, when he lobs this thing over the plate, I don't care if he rolls it on the ground or if he hits the lights, I'm going to swing. Because if I don't, I'm going to sit here and watch that thing go by 3 times in a row. I'm going to strike out without taking a swing. And I said, that's not going to happen. So he lobs the ball. When that ball's about halfway to me, I literally close my eyes. Look at this. Close my eyes. Close my eyes. And when I thought the time was about right, I swung that bat with every fiber of my being. I gave it everything I got. I couldn't give it any more. And they say that on a baseball and a baseball bat, that there's a thing they call the sweet spot. That if you hit the ball just so on the bat just here, that it literally sails forever with almost no effort whatsoever. And when I closed my eyes and swung that bat, I felt it, I heard it, and I said, I just hit the sweet spot. And I opened my eyes, and I watched the ball sail just over the pitcher's head and hit the ground. Which second base would easily have been at, but he wasn't there. Why? He was back. I get on first base. And nobody knew what had just happened other than Tim. I'll never forget this man. I love this man. He's a great, great, great guy. And Tim's over there in the dugout, standing up, and he goes, and I'm trying to look cool, you know, and like, and then it ended up scoring that day. I came up back the next time, same thing. These idiots, back. This time my eyes were open, I hit the ball, sweet spot, and it sailed right about to where shortstop would have been. Everything I had. And again, shortstop wasn't there. He hadn't learned the first time. It was back. And at the end of the game, that was the 2 times I came at the bat. End of the game, my team member said, "Carl, you're amazing. You know just how to place that ball." That's all I had. So we're getting ready to do a whiteboard. And we're getting ready to map out your future. We're going to do that here for the next probably 2-3 hours. And here's what I want you to do. I want you to make a small, simple decision. I want you to push disbelief to the side. I want you to flick little guy, little girl off your shoulder, and I want you to point to left field. You follow me? I want you to point to left field, and I want you to give this everything you have.